Good evening everyone. My name is Naveen. I'm 17 years old. I'm a foreign cultural exchange student from Pakistan, currently attending the Plainfield High School, and I'm home country school is AJ Science College. And I'm very thankful for all of you guys who just came here to listen me up today, and I'm thankful for the TEDxCarmelHighSchool High School for giving me the opportunity to speak in here today. And I will really make sure that you guys learn something out of this talk today. So let's begin. I'm going to begin with a story of a boy who lived in a poor education system which was said to be far beyond the world education system. A system in which study was nothing but going through big books, going through text, and no practical education basically. And with that, there was no concept of sports, no concept of extracurricular activities, no co-curricular activities. But luckily, in this life of the boy came a guy who was basically an engineer, but he had got a passion to change the system, which was I'm talking about. So he gave up his engineer life and became a teacher to change the system. And I would love to say that this boy, where I will reveal one thing, that this boy is nobody else, but yeah, it's me. And I'm very glad to state that right now, if I look back to the same place in this institute is going way different than it was going before because of the person I'm talking about, my teacher, Mr. Daniel Nisar Khan. He had the passion to change it, make the students compete the world. And I'm right now in front of you guys, standing and giving this TED talk in a different country, all because of him probably. And I look back, students from this institute are competing throughout the world for sure. So I'm lucky for that, and I'm going to move forward for the next slide, which is about following the theme of this talk, which is by the book, and the talk theme is by the book. So I've got a really great book. It is called The Alchemist, if you guys know about it. I will make sure that if you guys don't know it, just read it, and it's a wonderful book. So this novel shares the story of a boy who was a shepherd basically, and has left his house because he had a dream to explore the world. And this is what is the importance of taking a step forward, because the only thing he did was taking a step forward. And this taking a step forward changed his complete life. Just consider that if he didn't take the step, nothing would have happened. Everything would be going the same. I'll make one more connection in here. This story actually relates to my own story as well, because what I did was just taking a step forward, and I'm here today in front of you guys. But consider if I didn't take a step forward, nothing would have happened. I won't be here in a different country, but it was all possible because taking a step forward. Of course, there can be challenges in the way, but just go forward for it. That is how it works. And let's talk about some success. I broke down success into two parts. Number one is never give up and be positive. Now, how this works is in a way that people say that be positive and never give up. So let's take an example. Coming on the scholarship program was one of the things I got into, but let's talk that there are a couple of things I got rejected in. It was not always the first thing I got in. So things take time, be positive, never give up, and you're going to make it. And for that, people might say that these things are just stories, but I'm an example I can show you, and you can make sure that in your lives you can do the same. Let's talk about never giving up. Another example, so being honest, coming on this TED Talk was, like, I always had a dream that I can go for a TED Talk, and I thought that, why would somebody call me a TED Talk? Like, I'm not a big person, like, I'm not a speaker, I'm just an action student. But the thing was, I took a step forward. I was positive. I applied to around 20 TED Talks, and I made it to this one. So it is about taking that step forward and be positive, and you are going to rock for it. So I'm an example, and you guys cannot say that this is just a story thing. This works in reality as well. The next part is have patience and believe that everything happens for good. Again, this is very true. People might say that this is in the stories, but happens in reality as well. Again, I'm an example. So back in my country, I have my sister who is also an exchange student. She went to Japan 2 years back, and I got selected into my scholarship program the same year. And I was supposed to come to the United States last year, but I didn't, because I got a news that I'm deferred from the program for a year, and I'm going to come back next year. Now, this news was shocking for me. I said, what happened with me? Like, I'm not going to the United States. I was supposed to go, but I'm not. I need to wait one more year. And I was like, what's happening? What's going on? But now, if I look it back today, it's wonderful. Let me tell you the reasons. Because if me and my sister went on the same time for our exchange programs, nobody would be there with my natural parents. But now, my sister has came back in my country, and I'm here, and I know that my sister is with them, while I was with them when my sister went. So things really work out. They might not seem right now, but they're gonna be very surely good if we look from a longer perspective. With that, maybe I got another reason as well, because my host family, they're wonderful people. They didn't apply for hosting a student last year, but they did it this year. And this makes sense that, yeah, maybe this is how things work. There was just power which needed us to meet at the right time and just worked out. And just need to be positive, just go forward for it, and failures and delays may come in your way, but just take it positive, And yeah, I'll talk about the inspiration tree. Now people say that we have got an inspiration in our lives, but I don't believe in this. Like, I believe that you should have your inspiration tree. Now, consider a tree in which it has got an inspiration. Like, if you got an inspiration, there's a tree and it has got one fruit. But if you have a tree which has got different inspiration in form of different fruits, so this can be in form of either support, either in moral support, emotional support, motivation, a lot of stuff. So I've got a lot of people in my inspiration tree, including some of my friends, some of my relatives, of course not all, my family, my teacher which I came in life, Mr. Talian Sarkhan, my teachers, my host parents, and a couple of people, and of course some popular people. I'm not saying that it's going to be all about all the people. It's going to be some specific people which you get positive traits from. So yeah, I want to make sure that you guys find your own inspiration tree in your life as well, and keep growing it. It's not limited, it's going to grow, and I love to grow this as well. And I want to make sure that you guys do the same. Let's move forward. Now what I believe is that getting an opportunity opens the door to new opportunities. Coming on this program led me to get into opportunities like getting into a lot of conferences and a lot of other things. But here comes an excuse. People say that we don't find any opportunity. And I want to make sure that I get a solution for this. Now, let's consider that coming on this TED Talk was not required by my program. It was something which I did on my own. This was an opportunity which I created on my own. So this is how things work. Let's take an example. Like, people say that this works in stories, but it doesn't. Just consider my example. And I want to make sure that you guys know that you can really do it. It's all about the mental thing. It's the human brain which thinks that, which create lame excuses, but you can really make a difference. It's just about taking that step forward. If you do it, you're gonna rock, believe me up. So yeah, I'm gonna conclude off with 3 steps, 3 things which you need to try in your own life. And if you guys do this, you're gonna rock it up in your life, for sure. Number 1 is travel more. As much you travel more, as much you new people you're gonna meet. And as much new people you meet, you're gonna make more connections. And what is this connection thing? It's really important. I wanna focus on this thing. What I mean by this is that this is modern times, right? But I believe that there was a time when hard work got paid off. Then a time came when smart work got paid off. But this modern time is a time when connections pay off. Because as much more connections you have in different fields, they're gonna pay off. I know a lot of people in different fields. I know people from different countries. They really help me out. I would say, I will just take an example. I got my first job, which was, so it was a time basically of hard work, and I did hard work. I didn't got any job. It was very, very when I was a kid. Then came for the smart work. I got into online things and working smartly, and I got a job which I remember it was around 2,000 Pakistani rupees for a month, and it was pretty fine. But when it comes to the connections thing, I recently got a job through a connection which pays me like 10 times more than one I got paid for the smart work thing. So this is the modern time which is based on the connections. Just make connections. And I will say, if you travel more, you make connections. And these connections, like, I will make sure that I will go back today, I will meet new people, I will make connections, I will get connected to them. Because I don't know what is, if I'm talking to you guys today, how it's going to be beneficial for me. But I know this thing, that tomorrow is going to be beneficial in my way, surely. That is something which I really make sure that I will connect up to you guys. I'm open for that, for sure. And the other thing, connect up, that take a step forward. If you take a step forward, you're going to rock. It's all about taking that step forward. If you don't, you are going to be at the same place. Nothing is going to happen. But just take a step forward, because just consider the failure as a part of a success. The failures is coming your way. There might be delays, but go forward for it. It's going to work out, and just rock in your lives. Thank you. Thank you.